Hi everyone, we're just doing some more work now with imperial measurements. And what we're doing now is we're working with a combination of imperial measurements and switching them into a common unit. Now what I mean by that essentially is, let's say you're given feet and inches. They want everything put into inches. Or you might be given yards, miles, and feet, and they want everything into inches. My point simply is you're taking multiple types of imperial measurement and switching them into a common unit of measurement. You'll catch on to this as we do some examples. I mean, if you look at this first example, it says Jan is 5 feet 10 inches tall, and we want her measurement into inches. So you can see we have a combination here. We have feet, we have inches, and we want to know how much she is just in inches. Well, what you need to do, obviously, I mean, this is perfect. That's already in inches. This has got to go. So we're going to use the cross multiply and divide method we've been using, or the know and the want. If you look on your data page towards the top left, we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. We need to change 5 feet into inches. So your X will go right down here. That'll be in inches because it's on the bottom. And what you're going to get in this case is X is equal to 60 inches. Again, that's only a portion of the answer because remember, we just took that 5 feet, we turned it into 60, but we can't forget about this. So we have to add 10 more inches, which gives you 70 inches. So I hope you understand here how we had an initial measurement in feet and inches, and we had to switch everything over into inches. I'll show you maybe another example down here at the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take B, I'm just going to change the numbers just a little bit. Let's go with 6 yards and, I don't know, 2 feet. And let's say we want that into inches. No big deal, but the problem is this has got to go into inches. And so does this. So you're going to have to do this cross multiplying and dividing twice. I'll do this first and I'll do this second. So you were looking for yards into inches on your data table, and you can see right there that 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. We are using 6 yards from our question. Put our X down there and it'll be in inches. So you're going to get in this case an X value of 36 times 6 is 216 inches. And that is a portion of your answer. Now you must do this part. We need feet into inches. So we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. And we are putting 2 feet into inches. So our X value there will be 24 inches. So again, that's just a portion. So if you wanted your total, if you wanted to know 6 yards, 2 feet into inches, you would have to add 216 inches plus 24 inches, which is going to give you a grand total of 240 inches. Again, what you can see here is we had to take yards and feet, convert them both into inches, and then add them together. If I erase this, if I were to, let's say, look ahead here at 4E, they want everything into feet. Well, simply that means you're going to put this into feet plus this into feet. And you get lucky because this is already in feet, so I guess plus 2 feet. And that's how you're going to get your answer. So you have to do your conversion there, your conversion there. I'll give you one more example here. I'll show you perhaps number 7. Number 7, Riley bought 50 feet of rope. He cut off pieces that total 34 feet 8 inches so far, not due far. How much rope does he have left? Well, the reason you can't just go for it is because 50, that's in feet, but this over here has a combination of feet and inches. So my advice for you is make the units the same. For the heck of it, I'm going to change everything into inches. So what I mean by that is I'm going to change this into inches, and I'm going to change this into inches, and then we can actually figure out our problem. So I need to go 50 feet into inches. So I know that 1 foot is 12 inches, and 50 feet will go there, x will go there. So you're going to use your trusty cross multiply and divide that you've been using so many times. And in this case, you're going to get 600 inches. So 50 feet is 600 inches. Over here, you see, this is already inches. That's great. I can use that. It's this 34 I have to get rid of. So that's in feet. So I know 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. This time 34 feet goes on the top. X in inches there. X equals, let's go 34 times 12. That's 408 inches. Now don't forget, this measurement, it's not 408 inches. What do I have to add? I have to add that 8 inches. So this gives you 408 plus 8 is 416 inches. Now, let's answer the question. The question said, you had 50 feet of rope, or 600 inches, and you cut off a piece that was 34 feet 8 inches. Well, what is that in inches? That's 416. So, how much rope do you have left? Simply subtraction. 600 inches, take away 416 inches. Okay, so make sure you understand where I'm going with this. That means you have 184 inches remaining. Now, I am not going to lie to you. That is a little bit of work, and I get that. I don't believe that the actual math work is difficult, but it's understanding where to go and why. And my advice for you is, whenever you do these questions, or anything in this lesson, you will see you are changing from one imperial unit into another. So if I go back here in number 4, for example, that was pretty straightforward because they told you what you had and they told you where to go. They told you what you had and where to go. What you had, where to go, for example. The difficulty with number 7 is, where do you go? You see, I had 50 feet and I had 34 feet 8 inches. Well, where the heck do I go with that? Well, here's what my advice for you is. When you do these questions, make your units the same. So if you really pay attention to what I did here in number 7, I took my 50 feet and my 34 feet 8 inches, and what did I change everything into? I changed everything into inches. Once everything was in inches, then I had the ability to answer the question. Now, someone might be saying, well, could we have done this another way? What did I change everything into? I changed everything into inches. Could I have changed everything into feet? The answer is yes, I could have done that. So my answer would have been, I could have stayed everything in feet, and my answer would have been in feet. So what you have to figure out is where are you going? Where do you want to switch into? When I did number 7, I took all my feet and changed it into inches for comparison purposes. Just so you know, you could have taken everything in feet and answered the question as well. So that is very, very kind of tricky. And just to help you out, what I'm going to do is just to prove my point, I'm going to answer number 7 in feet. And I'm going to do so down here in the space for number 8. So everything into feet. Well, we had 50 feet. That doesn't need to change. That's great. Now, we have 34 feet, so that's one of my values. This 34 feet 8 inches. Well, what has to change out of that? If you would have decided to leave everything in feet, the 34 is fine. It's this one that has to change. We need to change that inches into feet. You would use the cross multiply and divide. So we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Where does this 8 inches go, top or the bottom? It should go on the bottom in this case, and your x is on top. You're going to use cross multiply and divide. I will write this out for you. 12x equals 8. Divide by 12 on both sides. X equals, so you're going to go 8 divided by 12. And that would give you, ooh, it's a little bit of an ugly one. We'll go 0.67 feet. So, what I mean is, what have we just done? My 50 feet is still good. You see this 34 feet 8 inches? You know what that's now become? The 34 was fine. It's 34.67 feet. 34 whole feet and 8 inches is 0.67. To answer the question, you simply would go 50 feet minus 34.67 feet. Just put that into your calculator, and you would get 15.33 feet left over. And now what I'm trying to tell you is, when I first did number 7, I found out it was 184 inches left. The second time I did number 7, I had 15.33 feet. Well, guess what? They're both the same answer. What I want you to realize is, the first time I did number 7, I changed everything into inches and used that to answer my question. The second time I did number 7, I maintained everything into feet. I had the 50 feet. I had 34 feet. What I had to change was that 8 inches. Nonetheless, while everything was in the same unit, I can answer the question. So I'm going to tell you, this is a part that you may want to really pay attention to and work really closely with your teacher. All right, let's move on to some practice.